off in their World Cup qualifying campaign. The top of Group A, 10 points out of 12 so far. So the referee blows the whistle and away we go in Casablanca. He's looking at you, Ethiopia and Egypt, on match day 5 of CAF qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Ethiopia in their traditional green, yellow and red, shooting from right to left as we watch on in this first 45. Egypt also in their regular home kit, red, white and black. Oh, they have beaten Ethiopia black and blue by the final whistle. These two have crossed paths 18 times before, across all competitions, 14 rather, of them coming in the AFCON finals or qualifying phase. As one would expect, the Pharaohs with a dominant record in the fixture, 12 wins to the 3 of their opponents today, 3 having ended in a draw. They last met a couple of years ago for a couple of games during AFCON qualification. First of those was the first meeting between the two sides in over 2 decades and was a shock 2-0 win for Ethiopia. Egyptians did get their own back in the reverse fixture, but reason for optimism perhaps. Memory of a victory against this world famous side, the most successful in African history. Two teams have met twice in the World Cup qualifiers, way back in 1976. Egypt won both games, a score on that occasion of 5-1. There's Messa Teferi, brought in November, initially an interim role, leading the national side in their final 4 qualifying matches of the Africa Cup of Nations. Succeeded Gebre Medine Haile as coach. Important tackle there. Prevent Zizo breaking through. It's quickly won back though in the Ethiopia half. Egypt looking to assert their authority on proceedings here early on. There's Omar Marmoush, Manchester City's new signing. Netted his first career hat-trick in his 5th game for City. Great start in the English Premier League. Next side it is. Faisal leading the line in the traditional number 9 role. Salah, of course, on the right-hand side as ever. And Marmoush on the left. So and Trezeguet will be in just behind, one would imagine. First piece of work for Abubakar Noura on his debut. It's an assured piece of handling, albeit from a rather under-hit shot. Hassan, some encouragement early on for his side. 58-year-old Egyptian former striker. What a striker he was. Prolific goal scorer. He is still Egypt's all-time top scorer. 69 goals in 177 appearances. Still about 10 clear. The man he is managing, wearing the number 10. His twin brother, Ibrahim. He was with him for most of his career. Long career it was. Retired age 42. And then followed all over by his twin, Ibrahim. Represented Egypt in the 1990 World Cup, 7 AFCON tournaments. He's the 15th most capped player in men's international football. Now though, he'll focus on coaching duties. On his side, he'll have to focus here on a first dangerous set piece for the home side. Ethiopia with a free kick. Not far outside the Egyptian box, and it's headed on, just wide. It was Emmanuel Terfa, got his head to the ball. In fact, it perhaps wasn't. It was Terfa we saw wheeling away. He was just behind. I think it may have been Ramkel James. Either way, Mohamed El Shanawi not overly worried. Hani sends it forwards to Faisal. Atia. Ethiopia pushing up the pitch. And the high press paying off as wayward pass. Hands and back possession, showing they won't be just sitting back for the entirety of this game, inviting the pressure, defending against their more favoured opponents. There is Trezeguet. There's a bystander as Hamdi Fati gave away the free kick. Clever flick. Egypt can break away here. Carried into space. Knocked on by Salah, who returns it. Whence it came to Zizou. Creates the space for the cross. It was over the head of Faisal. Marmoush will collect it on the far side. Back to the new citizen. He can't hold on to it, and now it's Ethiopia looking to break. Gugais are not able to beat Rami Rabia for pace. As well as things have been going here in World Cup qualifiers, Egypt's AFCON campaign fell short of expectations. It's the record champions exited in the round of 16 after a penalty shootout defeat to Democratic Republic of the Congo. Disappointment that led to the dismissal of Rui Vitoria, former head coach. Hassan brought in February from Modern Future, just days really after taking that job. Couldn't turn down the call of his country though. Coached a number of Egyptian clubs before, as well as Jordan, the only national side he'd taken charge of before his current role. Ethiopia trying to find a way through. Crowded final third. Promising start though here from the home side. Knocked through the legs of Yared Kesai. They're holding their own in the opening stages. Mohamed Hani eased off the pitch. See, the surface is pretty wet. He's slowing the ball down considerably. Passes along the turf. No costly slips as yet. Bravely out. There's Noura. Judged it well. Cleared the immediate danger. This through ball for Nasir, causing trouble, the number 10. Always full of running. Timed that one nicely. Up against a pairing of Rabia and Abdelmonem. Eased the latter off the ball. To the middle. It's cleared away, only partially. Ethiopia actually having the best of the last 5 minutes or so. Have to be wary of the counter, the speed. Many of the Egyptian players, of course, and more so than Mo Salah. Sama Faisal runs into trouble. Calmly done by Terfa. Ethiopia looking to play it out from the back. And so impressively well this far. Since their last World Cup qualifier in June, Pharaohs have played 8 matches. Won the first 4 before experiencing a 4-game winless streak in the latter fixtures. That is, though, including the African Nations Championship. Very different squad to this one. Beaten by South Africa there. It's having drawn with Cape Verde and Botswana in the final AFCON qualifiers. Nonetheless, point to prove, points to pick up here in the World Cup qualifiers, which will reach the halfway point on the final whistle here in Casablanca. Red shirts flooding forwards. Salah, though, either with a miss-hit or a miscommunication. Grimace from the Liverpool superstar, trying to poke it on, I think, to Zizou. Talk of him as the favourite for the Ballon d'Or. Has taken a hit in that regard, having exited the Champions League. In the hands of Paris Saint-Germain a week or 2 ago. Now, though, focusing back on life with the Pharaohs. Zizou gets his shot away. Rebecca Nura, confident it was drifting wide. Didn't feel the need to stretch out his arms even. It's a well-worked move. First warning sign from the Pharaohs. Egypt comfortably topped Group C of the latest AFCON qualifiers. Unbeaten in their 6 games, 14 points against Botswana, Mauritania, and Cape Verde. Lost their 100% record with those final 2 draws. Their qualification already wrapped up. They will be here in Morocco in 9 months' time to extend their record-breaking number of AFCON titles. So record breaking. It is their record. They've continued to break. Most successful nation in the history of the AFCON, 7 wins. Won both of their first 2 entries in 1957 and 59. Be with just 4 and then 3 teams taking part. Next victory came almost 3 decades later, 1986 on home soil. Salah with a lovely ball over to the left-hand side. Faisal moves onto it, tees it up. Shot was straight into a group of bodies. Out for a throw just by the corner flag. Marwan Atiyah trying his luck from range. Sat up temptingly, albeit with a lot of defenders to try and find a way through. Salah goes down, doesn't get the decision. Egypt win it back. It's put into the middle by Zizou. Killed dead. No initial panic, and Eric Marcus can clear the danger and even find Gugeza. Interesting first quarter of an hour. Far from one-way traffic. Egypt with a little more of the ball, but Ethiopia certainly holding their own. AFCON titles number 5, 6 and 7 for Egypt came in a row between 2006 and 2010. They then bizarrely failed to qualify for the next 3 tournaments. Returned with a runners-up spot in 2017, so too 2021. Sandwiching a disappointing round of 16 exit on home soil in 2019. That's now 15 years without a trophy. And that 2021 runner-up position was especially painful. A very painful year for the team in general. Mo Salah in particular. They lost on penalties to the Senegal team, who would subsequently beat them in another shootout to take the final spot at the World Cup in Qatar. Salah's then Liverpool teammate Sadio Mane taking the winning penalty, no less. Have made it to the World Cup on 3 occasions though. They were the first African country to qualify for the global showpiece back in 1934. Also featured in 1990 and 2018. Now though, looking to reach the 2026 World Cup. Salah's back heel was initially onto the legs of Ramkel James. It fell kindly for Egypt, but ultimately Trezeguet unable to capitalise. It's Hani who knocked it on. Salah onside. Smart first back heel. Zizou was first onto it, and then Trezeguet with a free header, not realising just how much time he had. Probably could have brought it down even. Unless roar of frustration from the Al Rayyan forward, currently on loan in Qatar from Trabzonspor. Will be rejoining his first club, Al Ahly, though, in the summer. A number of his current teammates on the national side will become his club teammates. Rami Rabia, Mohamed Hani, Mohamed El Shinawi, Marwan Atiyah, all Al Ahly players. Ball given away, and looking to profit is Branu Bekele. Now with Gugeza, Ethiopia forced back, but happy to retain the ball. Couple of collisions, and the latter results in a free kick for Egypt. Hamdi Fatih brought down. Now he's to the referee. It's been a stuttering start though, thus far for the Pharaohs. 20 minutes on the clock, almost a quarter of the game gone. They've had a couple of moments, but actually been kept honest by this Ethiopia side. There's another mistake, uncharacteristic. Shinawi quickly out to gather up. Zizo waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Frustrated though. He also plays his football in Egypt, but with Zamalek, as does Osama Faisal. Al Ahly's rivals, pinnacle of Egyptian football. It is Al Ahly with the bragging rights, so record number of Egyptian Premier League titles, also record number of Champions League titles. Al Shinawi and Mohamed Hani both have 4 Champions League titles to their name, 7 Premier Leagues as well. Al Shinawi, the Al Ahly captain. Not the national side though, that honour of course, and the armband with Mo Salah. Zizo there first, claims the throw, claims a deflection, doesn't get the decision he was hoping for. Hamdi Fatih made it back to Manem behind him, but the Nice defender giving it away for quickly making amends. Big flick by Salah, one you've seen so many times, then immediately on his bike, went for the early cross. This time with time to think, but only just kept in by Mohamed Hani, bailed out. Oh, he's right back there, the captain. Another errant pass, but this time no harm done. Space to move into for Marmoush. And Trezeguet. Appears to be playing as something of a wing back himself. It's an unorthodox set up, this one, from Hassan. It's working right now though. Zizo onto Marmoush. Here is Trezeguet, gets a shot away, well saved by Noura. And the rebound is dealt with by his defence. Ripple of applause. First real test of the debutant keeper. Trezeguet further back this time, knocking it on to Faisal. His pass to Marmoush, cut out. Which took a little too long. Gugais are doing well again. One of the more experienced members of this Ethiopia team. A number of youngsters brought into the fold by Mesai Teferi. Look at that chance for Trezeguet. Struck well enough, but straight at the body of Abubakar Nura. As well as Nura, of course, making his debut. Terfa in his defence has just 3 caps before tonight. Ramkel James just the 4. Abdul Karim Warku also just the 3 in midfield. Only experienced member of the back 5 is Ashalu Tamene. Over 70 appearances, the 33-year-old. He's a decade older than any other member of the defensive lineup. Referee waves play on. Salah looks to take advantage, but another mistake. And a moment of frustration from the captain of the Pharaohs, just getting the ball stuck under his left boot. That left boot, which has brought so much joy to Egyptian and Liverpool fans alike over the years. Has had an extraordinary season with Liverpool. With the uncertainty of his future hanging over him, seemingly just driven him on to new higher heights. 27 goals and 17 assists in 29 Premier League appearances this season. Set to break a number of records. If he can keep that up, as Liverpool surely coast to a title. 12 points clear, currently at the top. It's been a tough week or two though. Losing a cup final as well as that exit from the Champions League. Come Ethiopia. 2 in the middle. Doesn't quite reach the nearer, which was Birhanu Bekele. Faisal very deep. Does well to hold the ball up and set up a breakaway. Salah's on the move. It's instead though to Mohamed Hani. Salah leaves it for Zizou. Perhaps caught a little by surprise. Midfielder. Salah is to break those records. Add to a very long list she already boasts. Fastest hat-trick in a UEFA Champions League game, just over 6 minutes a couple of years ago. Most Champions League goals for an English club. All-time African top scorer in UEFA Champions League history. anymore in England. He's watching as Ethiopia put together another attack though. These are closed down. It's not properly cleared. Acrobatic attempt from Nasir. Could have been something very special. Didn't quite make contact. Missed by one number 10. Doesn't reach the other. Cut out before Salah could look to profit on the break. Half an hour gone. Ethiopia still comfortably on level terms, but is that about to change? It is. And who else but Mo Salah to put the Pharaohs in front. And just like that, all of Ethiopia's hard work is in the rearview mirror. It is undone by one clever ball and one clinical finish. Mistake this time as Ethiopia looked to play it out from the back. No question of offside. Salah. Timing is run to perfection. Brilliantly picked out by Hamdi Fati. And then calmly finding the gap between the outrushing Noura and his near post. Nestling into the bottom corner. Salah moves back out as the sole top scorer in this World Cup qualification campaign with his 6th. How do Ethiopia pick themselves up? Seen a lot of the ball, tested the Egyptian backline at times, then one mistake at the back. They find themselves behind. Only takes one mistake against a side with the quality which the Pharaohs boast. One of the very best in world football, looking to pounce on any single given mistake. There was the attempted scissor kick from Abubakar Nasir. Made some contact, not enough. Egypt looked to double down. Moments after that near miss at the other end. Retreat though, all the way back to their own half. Ultimately, Ahmed Abdelmonem sets them on their way again. Marmoush. To Salah, he's going to potentially pounce on another mistake. It was an attempted headed back pass from Yared Kasai, which came up a little short. Salah gambled, was potentially about to profit, but for a heroic sliding challenge from Emmanuel Terfa. Bail out his fellow defender. It is though a corner which will be taken by the goal scorer. Plenty to aim at in the middle. Tight-knit group of players just outside the 6-yard box. Referee coming over to lay down the law. Salah sent it into that exact area. It's knocked on by an Ethiopia head. Picked up on the far side. Now back with Salah in space. He teed up Zizo, but his shot's all "29 years of age now, Zito. Started his career in Belgium in one season in Portugal before returning to his homeland in Zamalek back at the start of 2019. 6 years on, he's achieved a great deal. Integral member of this Egypt squad. I want to help carry them to the World Cup 2026. It is a less daunting task now for the African sides. The expanded format. 48 teams now, up from the previous 32. Actually opened the door for several debutants. Pass is cut out. Up to 10 African nations could feature at the expanded World Cup. Only 5 present in Qatar, where Morocco became the first African side to reach the Final Four. 9 African sides this time guaranteed a spot, with a potential 10th for best-ranked second-place sides head into the playoffs. Salah dancing his way through, ball into the middle is somehow diverted over the bar by centre-back Rami Rabia. Quick feet of Mo Salah, we've seen so many times before, creating the chance, but Rabia couldn't profit. Never scored for his country, Rami Rabia. It's his only, in truth though, his 3rd appearance. Marmouche, and he certainly has scored, 6 in total. That time, not able to create the space for the shot. The sting has got out of Ethiopia a touch after that sucker punch from their visitors. Having to ride out the storm a little at the moment. Zizou needs to knock it on for Salah. Finds Ramkel James in the way. Zizou again. In triangles. Certainly is a wing-back role for Trezeguet, it would appear. See him there back, tracking the runner. Less familiar role for the number 7. One he's willing to do for the team. Zizou on to Salah. Looks to return the favour. And the goal scorer turns provider. Salah putting it through to Zizou, who also found that same gap between Nura and his near post. Egypt double their lead with a little over 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Too much space left in the area by Ethiopia. A calm head and clinical vision this time of Mo Salah. Put it on a plate for Zizou. And he obliged more than happily. To double their lead. Put the Pharaohs thoroughly in pole position, heading towards the halfway point. Far from prolific for the national side, Zizou. That is just his third goal for his country in more than 40 appearances. It's very well held by Abubakar Nura. Trezeguet looking to rejoin Salah at the top of the scoring charts. Travella, close enough to be held by Nura. It's overload on the right-hand side, which has been causing Ethiopia the problems latter stages of this first half. Zizou, Salah, Mohamed Hani getting forwards. Passing it around the left side of that Ethiopian back line. Fair to say, the young keeper's been rather thrown in at the deep end. His debut up against one of Africa's very best sides. He's captain. It's on the shortlist for the Ballon d'Or. Not officially, surely inevitably. Trezeguet again on the left though. Currently with the ball. Overlap from Marmoush. As ever, Egypt patient, more than willing to go back to the halfway line and start again. If the attack doesn't go the way exactly that they'd like. Those triangles again between Hani, Salah, Attia. Zizou, Salman Faisal as well. His first pass cut out, but it's up back with the number 9. Briefly given away, but quickly won back, and Zizou's quickly onto that as well. He has Faisal in the middle, others joining, Marmoush and Salah. Check back now. As once again, Pharaohs retreat to their own half. Hold on to the ball. It's a little risky at the back, but quickly off his line, Mohamed El Shanawi. Evergreen keeper, 36 years of age now. Still with the acceleration when required. They're also quickly out, but his clearance only as far as Hani. Salah shifted it on to Zizou, gets it back into 1 minute of added time. Maybe time for one more chance. Drops to Salah on the edge of the area. Gets it back to Ati at the second time of asking. So slowly brings the ball inside. Marmoush brilliantly past his man. Weighs up his options. Doesn't see anything he fancies. On to Osama Faisal. First half will end with Egypt. Indeed, there is the half-time whistle. There was to be no final.